Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chesswise. Today we are at the next endgame study explained, that is at the 22nd position of our endgame studies. We have got a slightly unusual position here. We see that black has got a very strong passed pawn which is about to queen, and the white bishop which is stuck on h8 is unable to stop its advance. Material wise we see that there are two pawns per bishop. Let's see if there is any way for the bishop to stop the pawn's advance. If the bishop tries to reach a3 or f4 squares, let's say with g7, then c3, bishop f8, c2, bd6, then the pawn queens. So white is unable to manage the bishop to the c1 square. For that maybe he can try moving the king. If king comes to f5, then pawn goes to c3, and again we see that after bishop f6, c2, bishop is unable to come from the d8 square as well. So the position looks a bit tricky, and we see that there is no direct way of stopping the advance of the pawn, and it seems like black is winning in the position. But of course it is white to play and win. And white uses again the concept of semi-stalemate in this position, and he controls the c1 square in an indirect way. So the first move is king f5, c3, bishop f6. At first it looks like what the bishop is trying to do. So we are trying to use the bishop and king to track the black king on h5 square. So black goes c2, white has the move bishop g5. When we see that if f3 is played, then the bishop guards c1. Okay, and the black king is already in a stalemate situation. So the only move is c1 queen, and after c1 queen, white uses the tactic in his favor. He goes for g4 check, and we see that the king has no place to move. Only defense is fg3 n%, capturing the pawn when this bishop's diagonal is cleared. Let's play the moves and see. King f5, c3, bishop f6, c2, bishop g5. The completion of the mating net, c1 queen, and now g4 check. Slightly unusual idea. The king is in the mating net now. Only move f into g3. When after bishop c1, we can see that white will win the game very easily. Just g2, bishop e3, king h4, and now white can take his king towards the black pawns. Bishop can be easily sacrificed for the g pawn. For example, king g3, kd6, king f3, bishop g1, ke4, then kc5, ke2, then kd5, and after king f1, the bishop again has choice between e3 and the h2 squares. And once the bishop is given for the pawn, the d pawn would queen, and white would win the game. Let's see if there is any other variation for black. After king f5, if c3 is not played, then we see that white bishop manages on f6, g5, and takes the f4 pawn in next three moves. So what black pawn is taking three moves to queen. Before that, we will occupy the f4 square with our bishop. So c3 is forced. Well, df6, and now see, king has only place that is on the h6 square. The move f3 doesn't help. Here again we can just take gf3. When after c2, bishop h4, c1 is forced. When after bishop c1, king has place on the h4 square. So the position is not a stalemate, and white will win the game. And after the only other move, king h6, we see that the bishop moves to g5 with a check. After kg7, bishop f4, and white will of course win the position very easily. Bishop controls c1, the g pawn can be given up, and white can collect the both d pawns and win the game. So the position was a bit unusual, but I found it very interesting. I hope you are finding the positions very useful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.